Hello, I'm Brian LaBelle here at the Craft Brewers Conference in Minneapolis.
I have the pleasure of speaking with Dean Rohan, co-founder, co-owner of Tree House Brewery in Charlton, Massachusetts. Welcome to the GF Piping Systems booth, and thanks for taking some time out of your show visit to talk with us.
Yeah, no problem, Brian. It's good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, Dean. How does a person wind up in the brewery industry, co-founding, co-owning a very successful brewery? How does that happen?
I don't think my story is so much unlike a lot of brewers' stories, and I've heard the story a little bit. So we started as just some friends who played music together. Not for anybody, just to have fun.
Right.
And Nate, our head brewer, head guy of everything, happened to be homebrewing beer. So I like to drink beer. And he was homebrewing beer. So
you followed a passion.
We went to a party at Nate's house for some craft beer, and we all brought our favorite craft beers, and Nate snuck in 3 of his beers, and we had a 25 beer blind taste test, and his beers went 1, 2, 3, so we decided, hey, this looks like fun, let's try this.
So that was the beginning, that's how you got into it, and kind of the beginning of Tree House.
Yeah, it's really our conception, but Nate started it by doing it in his kitchen.
Tell us a little bit about it. Dan Stromberg and Angela Sampaio have both mentioned to me what a success story Tree House is. What's unique about Tree House, and to what do you attribute that success, other than just great tasting beer?
So
is there a marketing concept there?
So its uniqueness is by its marketing concept. It happens so organically. The marketing concept, we don't distribute. We don't distribute a single drop anywhere but to our facilities. We have 3 facilities in Massachusetts now, 1 in Connecticut, and all of the beer comes from our Charlton facility. Anywhere between 8 and 16,000 people a week come to buy the beer at the facility only. And I feel like we're probably one of the only companies of our size to be able to pull that off. And the beer itself, not just because I own, is phenomenal.
I look forward to tasting it.
Yeah, Nate has worked every minute of his life, Nate being our head brewer and my business partner, every minute of his life as a brewer to make the best beer that he can possibly make to give to people. And he does, every time.
We sure appreciate the fact that you've had some experience with GF Piping Systems and CoolFit, our pre-insulated piping system for cooling applications, mostly around the fermentation operation. Tell us a little bit about those experiences with GF.
I've known about this before I was a brewer because I was a plumber in my past life. And one of the things I know about CoolFit in general is really where my experience came in, is that to save the labor time in insulating, to save the money in insulating, and have a product that's plug and play, it's huge, and it was huge for us. Also, it doesn't rot, it doesn't rust, it doesn't break.
Well, we say it's maintenance free, and we think that's a claim that is not an overstatement.
Yeah, no, it is. It's 100% true.
It goes in, and it's a set it and forget it kind of thing.
And it's backed up. It's backed up by George Fisher Company in general, but it's people behind it. It doesn't just have a pamphlet or a website that you go to. Someone like Angela comes to our brewery. I swear to God, it's every other month she's at the brewery. We build a relationship with George Fisher, doing just small jobs to the biggest jobs that we have. So it feels like we have someone on our side all the time when we're working with you.
I really appreciate you saying that, and that's a big part of who GF Piping Systems is, not just in the brewery industry, but in all of the markets and all of the applications that we serve. We strive to develop the relationships with the customers. We transact business through distributors and dealers and this and that, but we support the product. We like to get involved, offer our expertise in design, system layout, and when it comes to installation, we train your people, or we make sure we're using a third-party installation contractor. We make sure they know what they're doing, and we stand behind the product.
A cool story
Yeah.
Is that
please.
that whole part of it with training the contractors is I was a plumbing contractor and I was the guy that did all of our initial glycol piping and that kind of stuff with copper.
Oh yeah.
And then I would cover it and then it would sweat and the covering would leak and big, huge doses of water would drop out all over the place. When we started using like the Cool Fit products and then Cool Fit Plus and those kind of things, you came out to the brewery, you trained me, you trained a couple of people in my staff, but then when obviously plumbing a big industrial brewery was too much for me to do myself,
Yep.
and I hired a contractor, you came out and trained the contractor, and I watched you train the contractor, and I said, well, they're doing it the same way that I would be able to do it as well. So it's a big part of it.
We really appreciate you helping us to tell that story, that side of it. It's more than just a pipe and a fitting.
Yep.
It really is a system, and a lot of support goes into it as well. And we sure appreciate your business. Thanks for taking time again out of your visit at Craft Brew. You're a busy guy. We know you've got other places to go and people to see, and you've decided to spend a little time with us here, and we appreciate that very much.
Well, I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to share the smiles and the handshakes with everyone here at George Fisher for sure.
Thank you, Dean.
Cheers.